Dear students, to Standard 9th, Algebra, Chapter 6, Financial Planning, Part 1. Let us have an introduction to financial planning. What is financial planning? In order to protect our savings or to make them grow, we keep them as fixed deposits or buy some properties such as house, land. This is called investment. How do we learn to save our money? If our income is rupees 10, we should learn to save rupees 5 or at least rupees 4. Then in future we can learn to save the amount little by little. So the main purpose of learning financial planning is to protect our finance in our daily life. Now we have lot of expenses in our life. Let us learn what is predictable expense. Education of children and other expenses for them is predictable expense. Capital for a profession or business. Buying a vehicle. Buying or building a house. Old age requirements. So these all we know that it comes in our daily life. So these are predictable expenses. Now what are unpredictable expenses? The topics such as natural disasters or medical expense for a family member, loss due to an accident, sudden death of an earning member all comes under unpredictable expenses. What is saving? It is for our own benefit to keep our savings safe and to make them grow. Our saving remains safe in bank or in a post office. Money saved in a bank is also useful for cash minus transactions. This way, we do not have to carry large amounts of cash or worry about losing it or getting it stolen. If the money we get or earn is in the form of cash and we keep it as it is without investing, its value diminishes with time. For example, if today you can buy 2 pencils for 10 rupees, a few years hence you may be able to buy only one for that amount. Now, if the amount invested is used for expanding a business or to start an industry or any other such purposes, it contributes to the growth of the national production also. If some part of the income is spent for a socially useful cause, everyone will benefit from it in the long run. After spending on necessities, it is beneficial to limit spending on luxuries and to save instead for education, medical treatment, etc. Now, what do we mean by investment? Investments are of many types. Investors often favor institutions like bank and postal departments for investing their money because it is safe there. There is a certain risk in investing money in shares, mutual funds, etc. That is because this money is invested in a business or industry, and if that incurs a loss, the investor suffers the loss too. On the other hand, if it makes a profit, the money is safe and there is the opportunity to get a dividend too. An investor must take two important points into account when making an investment, namely the risk and the gain. It is possible to make big gains by taking greater risk. However, it must be kept in mind that greater risk can also lead to greater loss. Let us start the exercise 6.1. Question number 1. Alka spends 90% of money that she receives every month and saves rupees 120. How much money does she get monthly? Now, let Alka's monthly income be rupees X. Alka spends 90% of the money that she receives every month. So, amount spent by Alka is equal to 90% of X. That means remaining amount is 10% of X with Alka. So 90% of X is 0.9X. Now saving is equal to income minus expenditure. We have taken income as X. So saving 120 rupees is equal to X minus 0.9X. Taking X common, we have 1.0 minus 0.9. So 120 is equal to 0.1x. X is equal to 120 upon 0.1. Removing the decimal multiplying by 10, we get 120 multiplied by 10 upon 0.1 into 10. Therefore, X is equal to 1200. So, Alka gets rupees 1200 monthly. We can do it in another method also. Now here we have written saving is equal to 10% of X. So 10% of X is equal to 10 upon 100 into X, and that is equal to 120 as given in the question. Cross multiplying, X is equal to 120 multiplied by 100 upon 10. Cancelling the 0, we get X is equal to 12 into 100. So X, which is the monthly income of Alka, is rupees 1200. Question number 2. Sumit borrowed a capital of rupees 50,000 to start his food products business. In the first year, he suffered a loss of 20%. He invested the remaining amount in a new sweet business and made a profit of 5%. How much was his profit or loss computed on his original capital? So here we have the solution. Original capital borrowed by Sumit is equal to rupees 50,000. Loss suffered by Sumit is 20% in food products business. So therefore, loss in the first year is 20% of 50,000, that is 20 upon 100 multiplied by 50,000. So we get it as 10,000 rupees. Remaining capital is equal to original capital minus loss suffered, and that is equal to 50,000 minus 10,000, which is equal to rupees 40,000. Sumit invested the remaining capital, that is rupees 40,000, in a new sweet business where he made a profit of 5%. So profit in the sweet business is equal to 5% of 40,000. So here profit is equal to 5 upon 100 into 40,000, which is equal to rupees 2,000. So the new capital with Sumit after profit in new sweet business is 40,000 plus 2,000, which is equal to rupees 42,000. Since the new capital is less than the original capital, we can conclude that Sumit suffered a loss. So total loss on original capital is equal to original capital minus new capital, which is 50,000 minus 42,000. So the loss is rupees 8,000. Now we will find the percentage of loss. So that is equal to total loss upon original capital multiplied by 100. Total loss is 8,000 and original capital is 50,000. So 8,000 upon 50,000 multiplied by 100, which is equal to 16%. So Sumit suffered a loss of 16% on the original capital. Question number 3. Nikhil spent 5% of his monthly income on his children's education. is invested 14% in shares, deposited 3% in bank and used 40% of his daily expense. He was left with a balance of rupees 19,000. What was his income that month? Let us consider the monthly income of Nikhil be rupees X. Here, Nikhil invested 14% in shares and deposited 3% in bank. So, total investment is 14% plus 3% of X. That is 17% of X. So, 17 upon 100 multiplied by X, that is 0.17 X. Nikhil spent 5% on his children's education and used 40% for his daily expense. So, total expenditure is 5% plus 40% of X. That is 45% of X. So, expenditure is 45 upon 100 multiplied by X, and that is equal to 0.545X. So, here the amount left with Nikhil is rupees 19,000. So, investment is subtracted from an expenditure subtracted from income. We have 19,000 is equal to X minus 0.17X plus 0.45X. 19,000 is equal to X minus 0.62X, which is equal to, taking X common, we have inside the bracket 1.0 minus 0.62. So 19,000 is equal to 0.38X. So X is equal to 19,000 upon 0.38. Now removing the decimals, we have got X is equal to 50,000. Therefore, the monthly income of Nikhil is rupees 50,000. Question number 4. Mr. Syed kept rupees 40,000 in a bank at 8% compound interest for 2 years. Mr. Fernandez invested rupees 1,20,000 in mutual fund for 2 years. After 2 years, Mr. Fernandez got rupees 1,92,000, whose investment turned out to be more profitable. So first, let us consider Mr. Syed, who has kept rupees 40,000 in bank at 8% compound interest for 2 years. So the principal is rupees 40,000, a rate of interest is 8% and number of years is 2 years. Compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. So taking the formula of compound interest, we have P multiplied by 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power n minus principal, that is P. Taking P common outside, we have inside the bracket as 1 plus R by 100 raised to power n minus 1. Substituting the value for R and n, we have, and P, we have 40,000 multiplied by 1 plus 8 upon 100 raised to power 2 minus 1. So 40,000 multiplied by 1 plus 0.08 raised to power 2 minus 1. Now this is 1.08 raised to power 2 minus 1 inside the bracket multiplied to 40,000. So 40,000 multiplied by 1.1664, which is the square of 1.08 minus 1. So we get 40,000 minus multiplied by 0.1664, which is equal to rupees 6,656. So Mr. Zayed's percentage of profit interest is interest upon amount invested multiplied by 100. So we have the percentage as 6,656 upon 40,000 multiplied by 100, which is equal to 16.64%. Now let us consider Mr. Fernandez, who has invested the amount in mutual fund, and that is rupees 1 lakh. 20,000. Amount received by Mr. Fernandez after 2 years is 1,92,000. So profit earned by Mr. Fernandez is amount received minus amount invested. So 1,92,000 minus 1,20,000, which is equal to rupees 72,000. So the percentage of profit Mr. Fernandez has earned is profit earned by amount invested multiplied by 100. So that is equal to rupees 72,000 upon 1,20,000 multiplied by 100, and which is equal to 60%. So that is equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, the investment of Mr. Fernandez turned out to be more profitable. Now, question number 5. Samira spent 90% of her income and donated 3% for socially useful causes. If she was left with rupees 1,750 at the end of the month, what was her actual income? Let the actual income of Samira be rupees X. So Samira spent 90% of her income and donated 3% for the socially useful causes. So total expenditure of Samira is 3% plus 90% of X, that is 93% of X. Now 93% of X is 93 upon 100 multiplied by X, which is equal to 0.93x. Now saving is equal to income minus expenditure, which is given as 1,750, and that is equal to X minus 0.93x. So taking X common outside, we have X multiplied by 1 minus 0.93. Therefore 1,750 is equal to 0.07x. So cross multiplying, we get X is equal to 1,750 upon 0.07. For removing the decimal, we multiply by 100 with the numerator and denominator. So we get 1,750 multiplied by 100 and 0.07 multiplied by 100 is equal to 1,75,000 upon 7, which is equal to 25,000. Therefore, the actual income of Samira is rupees 25,000. Now, in this module, we have learned the introduction to financial planning and done the problems of practice set 6.1. Thank you, students.